Welcome back into Titan Esports playoffs, semifinals. Zem and Lucan.
We already got flashes. You're not even
Oh.
done introducing the match, Lucan. We already got 2 flashes down there. One out of the AD carry, which is much more valuable than the support Swains.
Yeah, definitely a little aggressive, like right off the bat. I was kind of surprised on that one, that's for sure. But, I mean, this is playoffs. This is semifinal.
Okay,
I lost my train of thought because of that one.
Wait, it's Zyra mid. Dark Wenser's playing Zyra mid,
What?
and Seraphine support with Adam there. So what? Zyra mid is this 2011, 2012 right now? What is going on?
No clue. You know what? I'm for it. I honestly, Dark is like my spirit animal. I don't know about you, man. Like, I've pulled out some weird shit in the mid lane over the years that I've played this game, but like I feel like Dark like encapsulates all that I love in a mid laner. I'm for it. I'm so for it. Although I will say that makes 0 sense when Seraphine absolutely dominates that lane either way.
Yeah, I'm really not understanding this because it's not even a role swap, right? Like I could have seen a thing like, oh, if Dark Wenser's such a crack Seraphine, you just put him support and then let Adam play mid lane there, but no, it's actually just putting Zyra. Maybe they really are confident in this matchup. It is a melee mid laner that she's going up against.
It is,
Silas,
yeah. So
right?
I mean, like it's not like it's like awful, right? Like it's I can see how it would work because honestly, it works in the same way that Seraphine functions at that point. It means that Cam's probably gonna have to max his Q in that lane, which is, as a Silas, doesn't feel great if you do like to gank a lot. So there is that. Oh man, Stubby though.
Yeah, Stubby already almost half health against Jax. We can expect that to happen a lot in this top lane. I wouldn't really, I wonder what Daz's opinion on it as he plays both Kale and Jax a lot of the time. So see how he would know this matchup. But we are going to have Sejuani in the area. Dark Winter. This is really tough. Going to walk down into the river and trying to get out to safety there. But he's going to keep going. Oh, he's alive for
Did
you
notice the summoner choice on Dark too?
On what,
Dark
Flash
Harvest.
TP? Oh, okay, sorry, I was yeah. Dark Harvest, yeah, that's pretty spicy.
It is definitely spicy. I don't know if this is really the case. Oh man.
Okay, this is what I thought it was exactly going to happen in this top lane. You don't just blind pick Kale with EX available to get that first blood 3 minutes into the game with absolutely no interference from the jungler. Like that was just the top diff right there.
Definitely one right now. Already, his score is significantly worse than the last.
Yeah, sound like you're in a really bad spot against 3 of the other people there. That's going to be a kill for Big News. Easy has to get the root onto Singular Bread, which slows him down in time for Batman to get in the area. 2 of the 3 opponents are very low health, but not enough for a kill. Cleanses down from Easy, walking back to safety. The root Seraphine is so low. Adam actually can get in a lot of trouble. One more hit would be able to kill it. Big News gets his 2nd kill of the game. 2nd kill of that scrap right there.
Coming down, though.
Easy, one of the best fighters in the league, is going to bring Big News really low. Oh, Silas is hungry for a triple kill right here. Cam needs 1 more hit onto Big News. Easy has to help him out there. Could have been a nice triple kill for himself, but instead gives a little gold to his marksman.
All right, well, I do know that Adam, Big News, and Bread are all spamming Dark right now. The question mark pings at that point. My mid laner, not roaming. Come on, their mid laner roaming. But yeah, like that's just very unfortunate onto what looked like a very an awesomely executed play. Just a little bit of an overstep that definitely didn't work out in the favor. Oh man, Stubby.
No, this is a little bit of overconfidence. Has to flash away, and he just leaps forward anyway. You're sure Single Bread's in the area to try to punish, but he's a big tree that does not move very quickly. So EX gets out to safety after getting his 2nd kill.
I don't know if you noticed something too. Did you notice the summoner choice that X used here?
Yeah, he has the ghost. He's trying to win
Yeah.
that matchup there, and
It's
obviously it's
hard
helping.
winning the matchup right now. Yeah.
Oh, I just feel so bad for Stubby. He was having a great day, flexing with the 15-0 cannons, like lock in the kale. I can carry, boys, and then dies 2 minutes or 2 times in 5 minutes without any
You had to
assistance.
say you were proud of him. Now the pressure's on.
Now it's like I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed at this way. I got to hit him with that line.
No. Oh no. That's just mad unfortunate. Yeah, well, you know, here there Daddy Zem gives, get Daddy Zem takes.
Oh yeah, there's the pull. Big news. Just gonna actually walk forward. Just saying, all right, fine, you pull me closer to you, I'll just get a little bit of damage off. We know Sejuani is hovering in the area, so Zon Lilac does not necessarily feel too pressured. And it is 5-2 the kill count right now, even though the gold is only a 500 differential. You do have the gold in the right spots right now on your carries.
And speaking of gold on carries, we might end up seeing some more here if there's going to be another fight and Cam gets something else, because Cam right now, where he's sitting at, even though he's kind of behind in the laning portion of it, he's actually he's ahead right now about a 500 gold from there. If there is anything that can be done right now, what is your thoughts, Sam? What are you thinking is going to be the case of that can we maybe see a little bit of a swing back in terms of at least map favor, because the gold balance is actually relatively the same over into the other side of the map here.
It's so tough because like the Zyra is somewhat unconventional at this point. You don't really anticipate how well it's going to work as the lane progresses and as we get closer to the mid game. So my first thought was to like try to neutralize Cam in the mid lane on his Silas, just try to bring him back down and get the gold onto Zyra. He is level 6 on Dark Winter, so
wow.
could be a big fight here. There is the ult pop from Dark Winter, going to pop up Cam. He's going to walk away there, not going to get the kill. Those flowers are really annoying. Those plants, I should say, are very annoying as a melee attacker to just take the damage from. Singular Bread's in the area, twisted advance, tries to get the root, puts EX back into Stubby's direction, but Jax is just too quick, able to get out to safety.
I just realized why he picked that champion, and it is brilliant. I actually think it's brilliant. I think that Dark is actually a genius. If he's basically playing it like a Heimerdinger, but just like better. Like if I look at how he's gonna work out that champion in the mid lane, he's looking to just kind of like get engaged on, toss down his minions.
Singular Breath stayed in the area. Divine Judgment is popped onto Singular Breath to save him. It's going to take him down. Jax gets his 3rd kill of the game. Fine, you killed him, but he's just gonna come back to lane with the even stronger matchup.
Yeah, it was great until it wasn't. What else can I say? I thought it was a great initial execution. Honestly, if there's anything that I can say about this series so far, it's that they seem to have put bread on the back burner. Like they're kind of letting him get a little burnt right now. He's a little looking like some burnt toast at this point, you know? Like yeah. I'm worried for him. I'm hoping that he's all right by the end of it. But yeah, he's back.
Ooh, the double pull from Zon Lilac there, going to actually be pretty nice, but Easy was not in the area. The pullback, Featherstorm is popped. Very confusing use of the Featherstorm there from Easy, and he's one of the best players in the league, especially one of the top ADCs that we've had in Divinity League this season. But that was really curious. You weren't with your support when he got the double pull, and then you Featherstormed on your own, and your ultimate's down for no reason now.
I guess the only way I could look at it is almost like a zoning ult. That's the only way I could.
It was more like a desperation ult to me. Like,
it
oh,
really
please
seemed,
give me something, give me something.
Ooh, very possible that it could have gone a different way if that hadn't been the case. But I think you're right too. I feel like a longer play in the cleanup probably could have ended up being a little bit better. Taking out the Herald though, likely going to be putting it up. Actually, you know what? I'll be honest, I don't want to see this put in the top lane.
No.
If this is dropped in top lane and you give Kale a free lane to farm in,
that's I think you put it. I think you put it mid to get Silas out of mid lane, get him roaming around, impacting the map.
It's either that or you kind of commit since you already have this first dragon and you say, let's drop it over onto the bot side of the map, release our bot lane from there, and then we can at least put Silas over into another end where we can get some more pressure on that front. But oh man, like it doesn't even look like even when Cam is going in and getting his all-in combo, it's not really equating to too much. And I got a feeling too, if Dark is going to be going with the Leandries going forward on this too, honestly, Cam might have shot himself in the foot by seeming...
Oh, Glacial Prison popped onto Dark Winter. He is going to go down, tries to use his ult for safety, but does not matter. Cam gets his third kill of the game.
Yeah, I'm going to give credit to Cam here on... for one end of handling this one, but Dark at the same time too, still ahead in CS on the front. They are dropping it in the mid lane, and we're going to see where that'll translate out to. The answer is quick though. Maokai may be throwing down the ultimate. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to be answered, but you're not getting too much out of it if you don't get it down from a couple of plates before you do just get that amount. Dark coming in for the TP, maybe looking to grab a little bit more, or is it just to kind of keep the pressure up for this dragon that's coming up in the next 15 seconds?
No, yeah, I think once they saw the TP, they wanted to back off. That is an unbelievably greedy recall. Okay, it worked out. It worked out for Cam, but that could have been very dangerous if you were to get killed there right before this second dragon of the game is spawning. Eclipsing Tides does
I don't feel like you fight this. I'll be honest. I don't feel like you fight this. If you're Crab Wranglers, you give this up right here.
Yeah, I would agree. So Dark Winter just TP's back into lane, gonna fight Cam. Adam is in the area to help in the mid lane, but will there be any type of scrapping in the river as they get ready for this dragon, or will they just concede it there? Blue team does take it, so that Chemtech dragon is going to be over to Eclipsing Tide's side. They're up 2-0. It is an Infernal Soul, which is pretty strong for a lot of those champions on EC side.
Okay, I want to know how you approach getting the objective this next push up here, because the gold lead is only 1,000, but it's all of it right now is pretty much onto the solo laners in top lane with X on the Jax and with Cam on this Sylas here. If we're gonna look at the way to fight into that, we need to get a shutdown onto Cam primarily here. He is very much being kept in the mid lane, and I think that can be brought even further in here, but bot lane looks like there's still gonna be...
Oh, the pull forward! Big News is in trouble. He does still have cleanse, so the encore is used to get Zhang Lilac off of him, but look at him walking to the wrong direction. Shutdown given over to Easy. He's gonna use that gold very well.
Bread?
Adam it has to flash out
Bread,
just
though.
for safety. Bread's gonna go for it all by himself. The root, one more hit, and Singular Bread kills the support, but Batman is in the area. Singular Bread popped by Glacial Prison, and Easy can help him try to close it out. No, he's actually walking away because Dark Winter got in the area. Silas said, hey, that's a nice ult. Don't mind if I do. Dark Winter forced to flash. Batman gets killed. Singular Bread baits him under the turret and gets the kill.
Yeah, that was a little rough. It looked like it was going great in terms of the answer there, and even with the takeaway from taking the Maokai ult and going for it, just a little bit too far forward. Like, maybe just... Yeah, I can't say that it was the wrong play to make there either. It was just kind of a flop in the actual decision itself, that it wasn't executed as fast as it could have been, and maybe the angle of the approach. But yeah, also that healing that Adam actually tossed out too was a little bit surprising for me, that he managed to get onto Bread, as well as the combination of him getting his sap magic. That might have been one of the things that was left as the doozy of... giving a little bit more health on there, but Stubby looking like he's gonna be in some trouble right now.
Yeah, gonna have the gank here from Zhang Lilac. Divine Judgment is used to keep him alive, though. So once they saw Singular Bread in the area, I mean, you know the ult's not up because you essentially have the same cooldown, or you know the cooldown timer from Maokai the last time he used it. It is looking like the Nature's Grasp is up, but like I didn't think it was necessarily the most dangerous position since he was down his ultimate, but they don't want to risk it. I understand this is best of 3. Chains of Corruption just completely whiffed.
Fancy feet.
Easy fancy feet.
Angle.
Oh, that ain't Falco. That's a Zaya, another bird, just dodging everything.
Whoa, man. Yeah, that was wild.
Dude, that's, I mean, those are the, but those plays like that are the mechanical difference between the top and the underperforming ADCs in the league, right? He's by himself and dodges 2 ultimates and doesn't even have to pop his own ult.
Or maybe he's just too tanky.
Yeah, that is also an option to consider.
I think I might be. Oh man, he doesn't have a ult this
time. Stubby, what you doing? Oh, the audacity.
Cam shows up.
The audacity to even just leave your turret for no reason, getting killed a 3rd time. Nashor's Tooth is completed though, so I guess you have a little bit there, but you are facing a 4-1 Jax. I'm not sure. Zion Lilac with the ultimate popping the demonic ascension. Adam gonna try to walk away. Big News is down really low on mana as well. Can he do anything? Adam is dead. The kill is given over to Easy. Big News is really close to getting a kill there. He's full health, so he can pursue this if he wants, but it looks like Easy and Lilac are gonna get away scot-free.
He's creeping up right now.
He's going. He's going.
Looking for
Cam
it.
is looking to take this turret in the mid lane all by himself.
I got a feeling it's dropping here.
Yeah, have the minions to help him out here, and that will be the mid lane turret taken down. So Stubby did rotate towards the mid lane as well, saying, I can't deal with this top lane. I'm going to play it safe under the tier 2 in mid.
Someone else can handle this, Jax. I've been dealing with it for too long now.
Yeah.
Probably the better call here, too. Putting him into the more central position there, likely to end up better. But okay, I take it back. He's going back to top lane. They said no. You're not staying there. This is. Are you kidding me? Like this is Dark's territory. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You saw the rolls at the beginning of the match, right?
Yeah, you saw it.
Mid lane.
Your lane did not say mid lane. It said top lane. Go to top lane, top laner.
Oh, there's a Q hit Batman. He's slowed. He's going to be slowed. There is the root as well. 3-on-1 against the jungler. Can he get out to safety?
Whoa.
Stubby's in the area. Stubby's actually the most forward of the entire team. Singular Bread with the twisted.
It, though. That's one usage.
Oh, the one time they're going to use Kale ult on the Silas this time, keeping Batman alive. And now Crab Wranglers are forced to back off, heal up a little bit with the help of Seraphine, and get ready for this next dragon fight.
And I guess the question really does kind of come into play to ask, who wins this dragon fight right now? Silas doesn't have an ult to steal, but the ults over on the other side are gone as well,
the only ones left are Stubby's ult and Adam, so obviously Adams is a huge game changer.
But there's also only Jack's ult and Zaya ult in this fight as well, too, on the other end.
Well, I mean, if you're the Crab Wranglers, you have to try to fight for this one, so you don't want to give away Soul Point for free. Let's see what happens. Everybody is in the river. We are going to have some fun. The ult is popped out by Silas first on the other side. Oh, and Single Bread has to flash away. He still dies anyway. Easy gets the kill. Big News is on the run. Adam is dead. Batman killing the support, and Varus looks like he's about to go down as well. The shutdown. Jax is dead in that exchange as he killed the Varus. Still got some gold back. Kale dies again. No surprise. Dark Winter has to pop that blast going out to safety in the mid lane to avoid the complete wipe.
That one was just an item dip at that point, honestly. There's nothing. There's quite literally, you don't have the mythic advantage, and that fight just went Ari because of it. Not like the champion Ari, like just like AWRY, like Ari.
Awry, it went awry.
Is it not Ari? I thought it was Ari.
No, it's AWRY is awry. It went awry.
Oh, it went awry.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to say that. That's a weird way to say
the
the champion's name. I wasn't expecting that. Anyways, the one area that I definitely look at for this next fight too here is that Dark didn't have his mythic, which is one of the stronger suits and stronger points of picking this champion right now in the mid lane. I think that that's going to be the best factor that they can have for the next fight, and we haven't really seen them fight at their full strength yet. But that being said, as much as I hate that saying that being said is being said right now, I really want to kind of put focus on the way that Tides is handling these fights while they have these advantages, and the advantages that they are holding right now are very much in X and oh man, Stubby. Stubby, he's getting the direst treatment right now. Like,
4 members of the other side there in top lane. There's nothing that he can do. Once you go back under your turret, you're not really safe. Like, obviously,
nobody's even rotating for him right now either from his team. They're like, yeah, Stubby, you gotta deal with it.
It's pushing under
Adam's like, I'm here, but I don't really know.
Oh, Encore is popped. So now
on.
Cam is going to just walk away. They finally kill Kale. Obviously, she was not going to get out of the area there. But the ult is used. Can the turret be the best teammate here for Dark Winter? No, he gets killed. Finally, you get Jax. You get Jax, so it is a nice trade.
Oh, wow.
Big News gets another shutdown. Silas is down. That's a lot of gold headed towards the AD carry on the side of the Crab Wranglers there. Looking a 2 for 3 in that scenario with how bizarre it started. Is actually not a bad exchange for the Crab Wranglers.
Honestly, no. It was considering the position that they were in prior to this. Yeah, I'd say that you're feeling all right when that's the case right now. I do think that you definitely want to get one of those tower shutdowns for sure. That's probably the next angle that you're gonna want to be looking at. But yeah, I'd say you could take a kill popped over on a Dark right now when he was kind of behind. I also think too that if you take the same kind of approach to the Heimerdinger and you pick up the Zanyas next, it'll definitely spell for a different kind of scenery for the next time that a fight like that happens, when there's all 5 of them kind of jumping up and you've got a lot more DPS that can be outputted. But outputted? Is that a...
I think it's outputted. I don't know. I trust you.
Don't trust me. I just said Ari. Like you don't. Let's let's be honest here. Next thing you know, you're gonna ask me to say chassis or chassis,
no.
And we're gonna go all over that one. I don't really want to get into that whole conversation.
If we avoid the English class conversation, just back onto the Rift. What do you think happens first? Kale is currently 1-5. Do you think? I guess I don't even have time to. Yeah, I don't even have time to ask the question because the ult is popped. Why even pop? You're going down. Why waste the summon? Why waste the spell?
I mean, like, I don't know if the spell waste is an issue. Like, Zyra ult's actually on a relatively low cooldown. I do have to question why he was just there in the first place. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there.
Cam popping forward, right into Stubby's face. He brought him one more hit, takes him down. That is the 4th kill of the game for Cam on his Silas, doing really well. Ultimate is used from Zon Lilac. That is going to stop the advance from the other side on Crab Wranglers. So now you're down that cooldown for a potential Baron fight here 23 minutes into the game.
And with Baron kind of being locked down here, we got to remember that Maokai's on the team. And Maokai's kind of always a scary proposition whenever it comes in there.
Cam pops the Divine Judgment way too early, but they still get the Baron anyway. Single Bread is going to get killed. Nobody else can get into the pit. Big News doesn't need to, though, because he's a Varus that can Q over the wall and kill Cam, getting even more gold his way. I feel like their best chance back into this game is a fed Varus.
Yeah, and it's looking like that might be the case, although I don't know necessarily if going on hit was actually the play this game. In one of the weirdest ways I could bring it up possible, like, you don't have really any AD anywhere else. Honestly, you're kind of all right.
I would agree with you. You also don't really have the.
I feel like that
you don't have the traditional front line outside of Singular Bread for you to stand in the back and wrap up a bunch of auto attacks together. So I feel like the lethality could have also worked out as well, but.
Yeah, it's just it's a weird, very very weird case situation where I'm gonna bring up and say, like, oh yeah, just like weird that you chose to not go lethality. It's not often that you can say that one on that champion. But I guess we're gonna kind of see how this one goes here going forward. It definitely does spell disaster and doom on this front here when you are Crab Wranglers coming off of the win and you're going into this one and you're really not getting to the points where you want to get to in order to hit that succession. Not getting the steal over onto the Baron too, and definitely reaching this point throughout the game where even though you are kind of holding on to it, it's very much by a thread. Finally getting that tower shutdown is nice for sure, but it hasn't exactly accomplished too much in terms of the overall map pressure that is now being put over into the mid lane. We're seeing a lot being put over here on mid and bot, and I mean, like, you even see it there. Like, Varus's Q is doing literally nothing. Like, it is, for all intents and purposes, you might as well be tickling Batman, and Batman's a fairly serious person. I don't know if you know that.
He doesn't get ticklish there. Singular Bread does pop his ult, though, so... But
the Joker wasn't able to tickle his sides. You think the fucking Varus is going to...
Oh, my goodness. So... they are going to push, but they don't have a minion wave right now, so that is the one, you know, benefit of people like Seraphine and Zyra, Varus. Like, you can really clear that wave quickly. So instead, X is going to push in to the inhibitor turret in the bot lane. They're in a tough spot. They gave over Infernal Soul for literally free because they had to. They really couldn't contest it at that point once they lost the first 3. They're going to take that inhibitor turret down, going for the mid lane inhibitor as well. Can Team Ambition Crab Wrangler do anything to stop it? They will push them off for a little bit here. Encore use from Silas does get the charm, but he's going to have to walk away after that. Doesn't really land on the key targets.
And even when they do get off, like, their full skill rotation, it doesn't exactly amount to... Oh, I would not actually go for this. I think that's a bad move if you decide to go forward right now. I don't think, Brett, I don't think you realize just how far behind you in particular are right now at this moment.
Yeah.
So, not the greatest idea that he's trying to pull off, but we'll kind of need to see how this will turn out, because now with the bottom inhibitor taken here, more pressure being thrown out, you can't really even push up too much, and we have no real objectives up either for like the next 3 minutes. Realistically, or at least the next fight for the 2 minutes over at the Baron. You might have the saving grace of looking and doing a complete flip around turnover at another like Baron flip fight, or as maybe you just want to kind of focus on grabbing the Elder and hoping for the best there, but the damage profile has not been there like at all throughout this entire game really for Crab Wranglers, but it definitely has been if you're Eclipsing Tides.
Well, I'm running out of time to ask this question as they go for the big news. He's going to be popped there from the Sejuani ult and has to use his cleanse to walk away. Godlike 4 easy, just popping off casually in this game. We're not even talking about him a lot because we're focusing so much on the rest of the Eclipsing Tides.
There's a lot of stuff happening.
Is KO going to get to 10 deaths first or level 16 first?
I think this game's going to end first, honestly. Oh boy. Oh wait. There's Silas in the back line here. Is he gonna go for somebody? Oh, that's
twisted
really
advance. He got really greedy, wanting to go after Zanlala and got absolutely punished for it. That was so not worth it out of Singular Bread. Now Stubby is dead again. That's a double kill handed over towards the Silas. Double kill for Batman as well, and it is just Seraphine versus the world. 28 minutes into the game. Encore whiffing as well, getting punished for it.
The world won.
Yeah. That was not... Nobody wants to hear that song. They're leaving the concert at that point with that use of your encore. And that will be the second game handed over to Eclipsing Tides. They are 1 victory away from making it to the finals in the Divinity League here in Titan Esports.
And what a finals it would be if that's the performance that we're going to be seeing from it. I definitely think, though, it needs to be mentioned, as much as it didn't reach the 10 deaths, we did hit 7 deaths. And if we're going to take and extrapolate any information from that, as I switch it over to the stat screen, it's that 7 is a lucky number. So if that is the case, right, lucky number, 7 deaths, maybe Stubby has a better game next game because this game was awful.
You know, when he doesn't play KO next game, maybe he has a better game. I would definitely agree
possibly
with you.
I think that might be a good thing to do.
I mean, honestly, we can look at how the game played out, and they got swept, clean sweep in the Dragon stacking there. Baron was given over to blue side as well. Didn't really have winning lanes because the Swain was able to neutralize the push that Varus and Seraphine had. It wasn't poke Varus either. It was the crit Varus. So, like, was this just a case of draft diff? That's kind of how I'm feeling. I
feel like it was, but not in the way that you might think. Because honestly, I was very much behind if the Zyra would have gotten ahead. I'd say Dark is a genius.
Yeah, you did.
I still think that.
That is a quote you said.
I do still think that. I still think that. I think they were trying to do too much, though, by putting Stubby into a position where he was going to carry. But also, there was a lot of, like, weird things that kind of happened from that comp, from putting Stubby onto Kale. I think, honestly, that comp, you replace the Kale with just about anybody else. Honestly,
Orn,
yeah,
you know,
like anybody else. I think you're fine in like saying that like Big News can maybe deal without having the ultimate that Kale brings, because I feel like the only reason why Kale could even be made an argument in that comp is really just to protect Big News, right? And like it makes sense on that front, but then at that point, why not? Like, you've done weird stuff across the map before. Why not put Kale support? Like,
please no. That's why.
I would have rather seen that.
No,
that would have made
no. Not after
you say no.
Not after Stubby just went 15-0. You don't put Kale support after that. He was feeling himself.
I am just. I mean, I guess if you're feeling yourself, but at the same time too, feel yourself on a better champion for your team at the very least, because like you want it. It almost seems like you wanted Stubby to both carry the game, sort of, if you could,
Varus,
and also save Big News. Choose one.
Yeah,
Pick one, please.
Kind of can't do both exactly. So I think, you know, if you want to play Kale in a competitive, non-solo queue environment where team communication is key and working together and whatever, it's like, well, pick Kale red 5. You know what I mean? Counterpick it. Wait till you see, like, don't get baited in to say, oh, that's Swain top, I'm going to be fine here. Because they punished you for that by picking the Jax, who killed you 3 times in, like, the first 10 minutes of the game with no jungle interference.
The other thing here, too, what do you adapt to? If you're like,
well,
I
think you go blue side.
If we're eclipsing tides, you do nothing. You did it. You're like, yeah, we're good. we got this on this front, right?
You could give Kog'Maw to easy. It doesn't even matter. You could give Vygar ADC to easy. He's going to pop off. So it really doesn't matter what the bot lane does. So I guess the question is really, if Batman is liking these engage-heavy, teamfight-oriented junglers like Sejuani, or if Jarvan doesn't get banned this time around. I know they banned it themselves, but so some type of jungler like that, I say you keep to that strategy, and then just let easy eventually carry through the game. But if you're the Crab Wranglers, Lucan, I think first thing I would do is go opt over to blue side so that you can try to get that first pick priority Xayah or whatever you value the most.
I have scenes set up to make the other teams go on the other side of the screen. I'm just gonna let you know that as a producer, I haven't done it yet because you guys aren't letting me click the button. So, I mean, like, if you guys want to swap sides, like, that's a thing. We'll take a peek into the draft area there while I get your comments on the damage charts that are going to be pulled off from this. Let's take a quick look here.
Also, real quick, I just want to tell you, I've been informed in Twitch chat that CB Rangers are moving on to the finals. They were able to win the other semifinal match, so that's really
Eden
exciting.
Snapdragons have fallen out. Don't count on me for English. This is Dawes' position, and I'm trying to use big English words. He's the English man, okay? Like, he can handle those, okay? Like, that's his job.
He is an Englishman and an Englishman at the same time.
I was gonna make another comment, but I'm not even going further from there. We'll go on that end. I'm the bell end this time. So I'm just gonna pop this over here and show what the damage looks like here. And
wow,
I don't know if you would. I was surprised when I saw this.
I mean, I think Big News actually played very well in that match for what he could do. But I am surprised to see that the on hit Varus actually substantially did the most
of that
damage
though. Most of the damage was him hitting 3 procs and then popping somebody. So, like, once again, I'll reiterate, in that comp, there was a bunch of things that, if they were just shifted over in their approach, they were fine. Kale was not. That's the one thing that I will stand on. In Stubby, if you want to fight me on this one, 1v1 me. IRL, because honestly, you'll probably beat me in game, but I'll have you know that.
I don't know. Not if he's on Kale. I don't know if he'll beat you in game.
Oh, true. Yeah. Pick Kale. Fight me. 1v1 me, Kale. Do it. I'm gonna say that, and then I'm gonna leave the desk and pop in Dawes onto here so he can take over color. So that's my final statement of the series. And then I'm gonna go press buttons in the background now.
All right.
Zem, for you, what is your stuff before we take a quick break here and we get Dawes all set back up again?
Well, I'm excited to see how Daz breaks down that top lane matchup, as he is very well versed in these two champions that were in this game and what the adjustments can be for Stubby going forward. But I just want your backs are against the line, or against the wall at this point. Excuse me.
We're awful at English.
I don't. Yeah,
we need
I know.
Dawes for this.
Yeah, I know. We need him in a hurry. I think if you're the Crab Wranglers, like, you just got to go back to what got you here. Please stop with the Zyra mid, stop with the Kale top. Like, just please give Singular Bread the initiative he can, that he has been one of the best junglers in the league. He's shown all season, over multiple seasons really, in Titan Esports. Like, let him carry. Let Maokai cook.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't done that yet. But I guess we'll find out if they are going to do that, and what could potentially be the last game here in this series and in this semifinal between Eclipsing Tides and Team Ambition Crab Wranglers. A mouthful every time I say it. Let's put it into the break, and we'll see you shortly. Let's not end the stream this time. Instead, I'll press the button that changes the scenes. That's the wrong scene here, so I'm gonna have to move that aside, and then I'm gonna click on this, which is the post button, and I'll see you soon.
everybody, we are back. Hold on 1 second. That is Daz. That is not Lucan. He's going to be speaking more proper English next time. This time around.
You guys were having some issues with that. I heard you were having some difficulties. But
yeah,
the big thing for Lucan to be excited about, I know he was talking about it before this game, is Team Ambition Crab Wranglers have gone over to the blue side, which is kind of interesting, right? It's like, do we think they wasted their draft a little bit in the last game? You guys were talking about it. I just want to address the elephant in the room. That is not the way to Kale. That is just factually not the way to Kale. And I see what they were trying to do. I see those bans come down. The Irelia, yes, you got to get rid of Irelia. Probably get rid of Camille as well. But yeah, you can't be leaving Jax up. That's how I feel about it.
And not even like you can leave Jax up. Sure, you can't pick Kale before they don't pick Jax, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't let them have the option to counterpick Kale like that. It really has to be kind of a perfect composition. This is going to be Aurelian Soul in this match. The last 2 games was banned, so finally going to be able to see the A-Soul on the map here, and you have to take it blue 1, obviously, because you don't want to give it over to Eclipsing Tides.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Wentz is going to be able to play that one really well, too. I mean, that's something they've been banning away in the course of this set. So taking advantage of the blue side, I wondered what they were going for with it. And getting the Aurelian Soul feels really smart here. I mean, Eclipsing Tides banning the Vigar as well, something that they played in game number 1 tonight, so getting rid of that. But a blind pick Irelia. I have opinions on this. I will voice my opinions later in the draft. But yeah, they'll get Irelia and they get Swain as well.
Swain is definitely a flex, as we were talking about Lucan saying last match that they actually play Swain top as well, so it makes it a potential 3-way flex. The way that Aurelia can be played as either of the solo lanes, you'd expect usually to see it in the top side. And when you look at X's carry pool when he's playing Jax and stuff like that, you can assume he also plays Aurelia, so you can think it might be top lane. But Zeri locked in. Lulu was banned this time around, excuse me, so you might have to opt for like the different strategy here in Zeri Yuumi.
Don't love this. These are 2 champions that have been hit pretty hard with the nerf hammer. Well, mainly Yuumi. I mean, I still think Zeri's a little bit overpowered, but you know, at the end of the day, it's all about this like big team fight once again that we're seeing from the side of the Crab Wranglers. It's been really team fight heavy, but they give over the jungler that they did lose to in the last game. Eclipsing Tides picking up Sejuani here, definitely feeling pretty steady, if you will.
Yeah, you were feeling better on Batman last game, right, compared to game 2 because of how much presence he had on the map. Took the first Drake 6 minutes in, so you started the dragon stacking really early and got to a point that Crab Wranglers were just not even able to compete and had to give over Soul for free. So I think this is actually really nice first 3 picks out of Eclipsing Tides, depending on where the Aurelia goes. If it's mid lane, I'm a little more curious how she would do against Aurelian Soul. Not too confident in that matchup. But for now, Eclipsing Tides banning the Jarvan yet again. So Singular Bread, unless Maokai is banned this slot. They did ban 4 junglers against him in game 3. So wondering what ET's strategy is. It could look like it could be a Maokai game again if it's not banned.
Yeah, could be another Maokai, but that Maokai really disappointed me in the last game. As a Maokai aficionado, I didn't see what I wanted to see out of the Maokai, so feels like that could be a bit of a bait, and what you and Lucan were talking about at the end of the last game, right? It's like, let Singular Bread do the work, and that's why we're pinching away this Jarvan. I will say the Poppy did underwhelm me and wasn't quite well executed in game number 1 tonight, but I think the Poppy is something to take away if you're looking for this like divey, engagey comp again. It's like maybe he's learned his lesson from game number 1 and isn't going to let that happen again.
Yone, Silas are the last 2 bans for the Crab Wranglers. Silas and Cam really went well together. It was into a Zyra mid, so not the most common mid laner that you would see there. That Cam was able to punish it, however, though. So now we're going to have our first pick after the second ban phase, and it is Draven locking in. This is one of the ways that you can punish Zeri Yuumi, because Zeri's essentially by herself when Yuumi is attached, and you just pummel her with your axes.
Yeah, I mean, Easy's been playing really well tonight, so this is definitely a confidence, like, power pick to be able to bring into this situation and, you know, really force the issue a little bit here. The safe Ornn in the top lane makes a lot of sense. Ornn is going to be able to deal with some of these issues. I honestly, I think Eclipsing Tides is a really well here to draft 2 AD, 2 AP, because that forces off some of those really obvious picks like the Malphite. I do still like the Malphite as an option there, but Ornn is fine too. Ornn can become a massive tank and cause a lot of problems. And the jungle pick from Singular Bread, we were talking about needing some way to get involved in the game and carry. It's going to be a Trundle. Trundle versus Sejuani feels real good. Sejuani is all about stacking up those stats, being an absolute beefcake, and being able to cause those problems. So why not take the Trundle and shred the Sejuani after level 6 as soon as you find them? This is a power pick bot lane, though, from the side of Eclipsing Tides. If this Zeri gets caught, this Zeri is getting killed.
Yeah, so it's Swain mid going to be flexing. Because at first I thought, all right, Swain Draven's pretty blood hungry as well. Like, they're ready to scrap with Zeri there. But Draven Thresh, a old school aggressive bot lane that can punish Zeri if she is caught out of position like you were talking about. And just to add a note, Daz to your Trundle pick, I like it for Singular Bread as well. Obviously into the Sejuani, the Thresh theoretically could get tankier if the game goes on long enough. But specifically, Eclipsing Tides, last time the only ban difference was Trundle over Xayah. But this time around, they didn't want to hand over Xayah in that first pick. So you left up Trundle, pick Sejuani, and then you kind of get punished for it there. So you can't have a perfect draft, right? Like, I don't know, I probably would have banned Trundle instead of Poppy, the way you're saying how game 1 went. I think that would have been the better option.
Yeah, I mean, also, I think banning the Poppy doesn't really make sense when you go Draven Thresh as the last two, right? It's like Thresh isn't engaging in the same way. Thresh doesn't have to take the Q. I always encourage taking the Q.
Oh, you sure do.
Yeah, as somebody who's played enough games with me on Thresh, Joe knows that I have an instinct reaction to take the Q. As soon as that death sentence hits, I'm going in. But, you know, it's a tough one to really negotiate. I do think the Crab Wranglers have a nice, like, well-rounded draft. But just the power pick bot lane from the Draven Thresh, feels like Eclipsing Tides might be able to run away with this one a little bit if they get that early kill. I mean, one well-placed death sentence onto the Zeri is quite literally a death sentence.
So the way I'm thinking, Daz, is like, at which lane is safe for the Crab Wranglers? If you look at it, Zeri is by herself with Yuumi. Aurelion Sol needs 35 minutes to get into the game, to get popping, and Ornn is on weak side. So you're just trying to, you're not even trying to win lane, you're trying to not lose lane against Aurelia on Ornn. So what is the position for Singular Bread? What lane can he try to counteract and get ahead?
I think it has to be the mid lane. I do think you can accelerate the Aurelion Sol by helping out with some of those ganks, obviously stacking it up a little bit earlier. Makes a little sense, but yeah, it's definitely a tough one to fight against here, because, you know, the early potential is really, really strong from the side of Eclipsing Tides. That Sejuani can get around the map, the Swain can roam. The other thing I will say is, even though Ornn is playing that weak side or that safe side that can stack up those resistances, I do think Aurelia with an early balk can actually shred through that surprisingly fast. So something to consider, you know. And if Ornn's not getting to the point, you know, this reminds me a little bit of the Kayle, right? Like, if Ornn's not getting to the point where he's going to be able to give out those ornaments, give out those boosted super strong items, then, you know, the game could slip away very quickly from the Crab Wranglers. Because Aurelia, also very, very mobile, able to dash around that top lane. And as soon as you see that Ornn pillar come down, you just dash to a minion that's away from it, wait, and then dash around again, land the stun. And as soon as that Unstoppable is used, Aurelia can punish. So definitely a big skill matchup in the top lane that I'm willing to see executed.
And I am very much I'm very much in the opinion that there is a lot of pressure on Zeri in this matchup, on Big News. Obviously, one of the best players in the entire league on easy is playing Draven Thresh on the other side, and you are by yourself, where Yumi's just going to be moral support, throwing out some Qs as they're just pummeling you down auto after auto. So,
Joe, an interesting point that's just been brought up, and I apologize for interrupting, is Aurelia allegedly a large Aurelion Sol counter in the mid lane. Not sure how much I agree with it, because you do have to dash through a lot of the Aurelion Sol spells, but Swain top would be super safe against Ornn, and if this Aurelia is executed better, then it could obviously beat the Aurelion Sol. So do do want to see it in action. There is also the negative side of me, the negative Nancy, if you will, who thinks that just because it may be a counter, I still want to see it executed correctly.
I agree completely. There's a difference between something being a counter on paper and being able to execute it well, because like, you know, for example, so like I think just even in the ADC meta throughout the years, because that's obviously my area that I've used the most, something like typically in pro play we see Ashe as a counter to Caitlyn. When we're looking at when Caitlyn's super strong, Ashe becomes a better option, and you know, the pros, the best 500 people in the world are able to play that matchup. But down in my solo queue lobbies, Caitlyn versus Ashe is not Ashe favored. So it's all about the execution with Aurelia, a mid lane or a melee auto attacker there into Aurelion Sol, right? Yes, statistically and on paper, just accounting for everything, you can say Aurelia is the counter pick into Aurelion Sol. That's going to be a fun matchup to say their names. They're kind of similar to each other. But in execution at this area of player skill and player expression, is it the same counter pick?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I do think that the junglers could get involved too, right? Like, they're not just playing in isolation. The junglers have been pretty much all over the map for the rest of this one. So we'll see how it shakes out. I mean, Aurelion Sol can just farm it up and play it out. Yes, there are a lot of stats that do favor Aurelia in this one. But, like I say, I just want to see the execution. That's all I ask.
Yeah, and I guess I really don't even understand the swap, because what it does, I should rearrange my words there. English is important, as you would know, Daz. You are an Englishman. Yeah. Is that I don't necessarily see the need to get Aurelia ahead in mid lane and put more pressure in her feet to destroy Aurelion Sol, when you can just facilitate the bot lane with Draven Thresh and give them the resources this time around. I would have really liked to see Aurelia up in the island the way Jax was last game. You just hold off the Ornn, you keep him up there, he's out of team fights, he's not at Rift Herald to help, he's not at Dragons to help, you start stacking, like I understand the flex because they wanted Swain top last game originally, and then they had to move it around, and it seems like a comfort pick, but it could just be a little too cute for my liking.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the execution goes. So I think we just have to wait for the lobby to load, and then we'll be getting into this game. Could be the final game of the series if Eclipsing Tides is able to close this one out, or it could be heading to a game 5 if the Crab Wranglers can tie this one up.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. We're going to take a quick break as we get ready for that next game to start. So when we come back, we will have game 4 of our matchup between Eclipsing Tides and Team Ambition Crab Wranglers here in the Divinity League. We'll see you right now. We will be right back. Excuse me, I apologize for my English, Adam.
It's okay.
All right, Daz and Zemanon here for Game 4 between Team Ambition Crab Wranglers and Eclipsing Tide. The Crab Wranglers are back against the wall as if they lose this match. They are eliminated from the Winter League playoffs, and Eclipsing Tides will face CB Rangers in the finals next week with one more win. Flash gets sent into the Zeri. Big News gets hit as well, and he goes down. First blood 54 seconds into the game.
I mean, Flash Death Sentence is a sick play, and Zon Lilac has led the charge there so beautifully. The only respite you can take from that play is Easy didn't have any stacks. So a little bit of good news there, I guess. No Draven stacks, no Adoration to pick this one up, but that is a horrendous start for the Crab Wranglers. They are desperately trying to get back in this series. Yes, there's no stacks, but he's gone back and he's got another long sword.
Oh, no. And Zeri started call to the audacity.
Yep. That's it's one of my favorite C.S. Lewis novels, Joe. The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. But this area has been absolutely punished for it and is going to really struggle. Big news, there's no one else to target. There's no body block unless the Yuumi wants to hop off and cause those problems. So Zon Lilac and Easy should be able to take this one kind of comfortably. Cam, just starting to farm things up there. Okay, it's going to get going. Zon Lilac going forward. No flash. And an easy sidestep on that death sentence.
Dude, if you're Big News, it's every interaction in the bot lane you are sweating. You are in a precarious position at all times because you essentially do not have a support in the lane to body block for you the way that, I know Adam likes enchanters and some things he played for Khan. Well, he's played Taric multiple times as well. I know we all want to emulate pro play and just do Zeri Yuumi because that's what Carrier did. But, you could have put Taric here. You could have picked somebody else to help out your Zeri. There's Cam. Gonna be really going into Dark Winter there. And that is what you were talking about in the draft preview there, Daz, about how Aurelia is strong into Aurelian Soul.
Yeah, I mean, this is another missed one. There's the Flay, though, so this is still damage going down on Big News. Zon Lilac does lose that trade. But yeah, my one concern was, the execution on the Aurelia, right? If you misstep it, you can get into a bit of trouble. But that doesn't seem to be a problem for Cam. The Ornn of Stubby getting pulled around as well. This is looking real dicey. I'm not particularly familiar with Swain top, but it does feel like it's going well. Cam, though, is getting poked out. Does still have the potion. But, the Aurelian Soul of Dark Winter is being asked a lot. This wave is getting pushed in, and it's going to have to be near perfect CSing over the course of this lane.
I do believe, especially with the Ghost, I would put the favor into X's matchup there, onto X's side, I should say, on his Swain into Ornn. It's definitely a counter pick because Ornn does not deal well early game with aggressive AP damage the way that Gwen and Lilia and Swain, things like that, are very difficult for Ornn to deal with in the laning phase.
Yeah, and the big thing here is, Singular Bread's going to need to get involved early, and, as much as I love Trundle, it's the big power spike is 6, right? You go to a fight with the Sejuani, you steal that, and then you start causing that problem. I do think Sejuani can get involved a little bit earlier. Is showing in the mid lane from the side of Batman, just walking through that one. But let's just start even looking at, some of the CSing. It's pretty even across the board, and that's where I think is going to be big. Is this whole game is about scaling for the side of the Crab Wranglers, so they can't be giving it up. Those axes are about to really start hurting. Those already getting there. EX is getting this one. A good pull onto Stubby. The full combo actually forced the dash out.
Oh, it's disgusting. If you've ever played Ornn in this type of matchup, you know it's really tough. Singular Brand is in the area though. He's going to gank on Cam. Can Aurelia get out? She has to flash, forcing the flash on Cam, so that summoner spell is down. Batman is here to counter gank. Can Singular Bread, if he keeps pushing up, can get potentially punished there as Sejuani is in the area. Looks like she just queued over the wall to safety to just get them to stop advancing onto Cam there, and they did back off. So you did keep your mid laner alive for now, at least.
Yeah, I mean, keeping that save. Singular Bread, though, just not able to have that early impact, right? Yeah, got the pillar down, was causing problems. Another death sentence heading towards Big News. The speed up from the Yuumi, keeping things a little bit easier as well. But Singular Bread desperately trying to make a play in the bot lane. Does get the pillar down, does get flayed away, though, and that is a big problem for this Trundle, is the engage. You don't have any dashes, you don't have any kind of big tools apart from run fast and pillar. And yes, Zon Lilac does expend the flash there to just make sure, But the big thing here is Easy was super safe in that whole exchange. Cam has gone back and is building what I like to think is the only correct item to build on Irelia first, or most champions for that matter. It's going to be the Blade of the Ruined King started out.
Yeah, do we stop it now? Do we say she's full build with the Vamp Scepter, or do we wait till she gets the Bork?
It's Bork. Full build is Bork on Irelia for me. You know, but look how quickly Cam is clearing the wave and is kind of struggling a little bit there, is getting caught, getting sucked in a little bit there by Aurelion Sol, but not taking much damage. And just look at how little damage the build from Dark Lancer has right now. There's nothing in there outside of a tier and a bunch of mana items, so never going to be able to win these trades early doors.
Yeah, and X is pushing forward onto Stubby again. It really is fascinating to see the storyline that Stubby has went, the roller coaster he's went on in this matchup, as the red team does take the first dragon of the game down on the bottom half of the map. He went from a 15-0 Kennen to a 1-7 Kale to playing weak side Ornn in 3 games, just to... You know, he was on King Dakar at 6 Flags, essentially, with how much of a downslope his champion pool has went to.
That's a very niche reference, Joe. That is a exceptionally niche reference to a roller coaster.
But it's an excellent one, is it not?
It is, yes. That said, I mean, you know, we've already got a plate going over to the side of Easy, and First Blood and early plates is just going to be absolutely unmanageable for this Draven. Zon Lilac just walking up, throwing the death sentence, still not able to hit one outside of that first one. The Flay, though, being able to get that damage, I think there's a play in here, and you know, I think the flash Flay to death sentence could be the way to do it for Zon Lilac, right? Is like, you can either flash Flay to get that slowdown from the, you know, the way that the champion is being built, but things are going to be causing problems. Singular Bread, once again, walking forward. Oh! Has just walked into an Irelia ult at level 5. Don't know if I agree with this.
She has no mana, though. She has no mana. Cam cannot finish it off because he was out of mana after the ultimate. Just not enough. You actually can get a little mana hungry on Irelia in the early stages of the game when you're using your Q so much. So you had the moment for Cam to potentially clear it up, but because you have essentially 0 mana left, you can't punish this Aurelion Sol or Singular Bread, who likely should have died in that matchup.
Yeah, Singular Bread with another Q probably could have got taken out, but using them so liberally. Here comes on Lilac once again, throwing the death sentence. Does get it this time. This is about to get nasty for big news. Gets the ult missed from Easy. That's a bit of respite, but now on the other side of the map, Singular Bread is also going to find that whirling death as it comes up all the way to that side. Easy has not been touched in this matchup, by the way. Has not even been touched. You know, the whirling death comes all the way back. And Big News has to be scared because now, you know, Zon Lilac back on hitting those death sentences.
Big News and Adam have both reached level 6 though now, so if they get engaged like that again under their turret, it's going to be a little safer for them to try to force them off. Going to recall as well to get some more items, because they didn't even back it at this point, just stacking up that call as quickly as they can, since I know this is a lost lane. Eclipsing Tides are going to be able to claim this first Rift Herald of the game, Batman picking it up. Where would you like to see them drop this? In which lane?
Honestly, the bot lane. I think the bot lane would be absolutely huge here, right? Like, and I know the standard is drop it mid and run dragon, but I don't think bot lane's a bad idea. He's already taken a plate on the side of that. Make sure Easy gets the solo gold too. That is going to be a big thing. Here's a nasty combo. Cam just walking in, being able to cause some problems there. By the way, Draven has already completed the mythic. It is 9 minutes in.
Oh, that is a disaster.
That's why I say drop it bot, because, you know, give the gold to the Draven, just absolutely accelerate Easy, who's been playing fantastically all night, even in their loss, I think, putting up those numbers and those attempts. But make sure you get it. Cam missing the stun there. Not going to be the best, but yeah, Big News is struggling. There's the Flay, and then there's the death sentence. I love this.
Yeah. Singular Bread going to force onto Zon Lilac, though. The lantern is used to get Easy to safety. Zon Lilac is dead. Can Easy get any kills before he goes down? No, the Ornn is used. Double kill for Singular Bread. Nice teleport out of Stubby to help out the team. 4 people were sent bot lane, though, so this does let X just push completely free in top.
Yeah, that is one thing I will say, is I've not seen enough of Batman yet. Singular Bread has been pushing around this map pretty aggressively. Does go back and pick up some components. Not exactly what you need, but, you know, that is a very good gank there. And that was a really poorly timed engage from the side of Eclipsing Tides, right? Like, as soon as they started to engage that one, then Singular Bread turned up. So maybe needing to be a little more respectful. Thought they'd be able to blow up Big News, but Atom being able to save that one with the Yuumi. The ultimate forcing them into weird positions, and then, of course, being able to heal up as well. So a lot of work going through on that one. Cam in the mid lane, once again, just actually burning through the mana pool.
Yeah, I guess that's how he feels. His teleport is almost up. It's not up yet, though, so it's not like he can just recall and TP back in to lane. But Cam is going to walk around, clear this ward, and we look at the gold differential right now, roughly 1,000-ish gold in the benefit of Eclipsing Tides. So for them to get that first blood less than a minute in the game and still really not have continue the gold advantage that much is kind of good news for the Crab Wranglers. But there will be a little bit more gold into the pockets of Eclipsing Tides as this Rift Herald is going to the bot lane, as you suggested, Daz, to get these turret plates for the Draven.
Yeah, keep the Draven going. I mean, the Draven's 1-on-1. I'm not saying that's bad, but you probably want to push that to, 2-1, 3-1. Singular Bread and Stubby trying to level up some of the counts there, as X is coming back in the top lane. Getting the root on Stubby, though, not what you need. I haven't seen this easy win lane that I was promised in the mid lane, though, as Cam is once again out of mana. And Dark Winter
you
is
Q
just able
forward,
to...
but you have no mate. You're just a melee minion when you Q into Aurelion Sol's face with no mate.
Yeah, I've not seen this easy win yet, so...
Yeah, and that's the longer this goes, it's the better. Obviously, the bigger benefit is for Dark Winter, since Aurelion Sol can scale to infinity. Flay used onto Big News, has to use the ultimate from Yuumi to try to stop them. In the hook, landing this time around, going forward. Big News kills Easy, and he kills on Lilac as well. That is not how we expected that matchup to be going in the start of that fight, but the stun from Batman in the area will be able to take him down. And obviously Yuumi cannot do anything against these two, giving the money over to Aurelia for the double kill. Not as great of a team win for the Crab Wranglers as it initially seemed after they killed the Draven.
Well, what's confusing here is why are Eclipsing Tides taking this fight without the Sejuani there? It's so easy with the Sejuani. And also, the Sejuani comes in on the side. So there's no way that final chapter from the Yuumi is going to be able to lock all of them down. They went way too early there. That was such an aggressive play, and I respect it. I love an aggressive play. But... you had the Sejuani on the way, right? You could have shoveled those kills into your Draven. Easy could be looking way, way better numerically right now. That said, they still got the bot lane turret. They're still able to rotate Easy to the mid lane, which I think is a much better place because, we can now shove Aurelia in a side lane. The Aurelia does have the full build at this juncture. Thank you to the Blade of the Ruined King. And, the big thing here is, like, which is better, right? Your Aurelion Sol playing in this, tough matchup against Aurelia, or just getting absolutely wailed on by Easy. So it does look like there's already going to be some map rotation right now. Both the mid lanes being swapped for the bot lanes.
Yeah, so that, as you mentioned, the mid lane here is going to try. There's only 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds, I should say, left before the turret plating is gone. So I don't think you're going to be able to get any bigger advantage there from that gold. And yeah, they're not even going to push forward, obviously, since there is no minion wave to help them out. Stubby is kind of rotating towards the mid lane here, helping his Trundle. Trundle is in the area as well, so there could potentially be a collision in the mid lane headed our way soon.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well is Rift Herald is about to be coming back up, so that's probably the objective. I will say Eclipsing Tides have kind of quietly taken these two dragons. Stubby is core. It's always awkward throwing a death sentence on a tank. Easy's got a lot of work to do to get through this.
The box
one. Does have the Whirling Death, though. So
the box is used on Stubby. He has to E-flash out to safety. Now you don't have a tank in this matchup. Singular Bread is getting shredded, but the Call of the Forge God is gigantic, popping up Batman and Cam, forcing them out of the fight. Double kill handed over to the Draven, though. Dark Winter has to walk away. Cam kills Zeri as well. That is 3-4-0 on the exchange.
Yeah, that is a really rough trade to make there, and I think that's Eclipsing Tide showing that they know they're ahead. Just look at the items. You've got the Mythic for Draven. You've got what may as well be a Mythic for the Aurelia. While the Aurelia's not been feasting on the side of Dark Wenser, it's just been feasting around the map. That is something that, Aurelion Sol can get around the map quickly and needs to do a little more work to get involved. So an easy pickup here on the Rift Herald. I want to see this one drop mid. I want to see this one immediately put down. Easy's already up in the top lane, helping out EX as well, so being able to play that one. So yeah, you're getting all of the outers in a very quick turnaround here. get that mid lane turret, force Big News away as well, and then start playing the game, because Cam can dive forward, Batman can dive forward, Zon Lilac can also just catch him off as well. So finish off that turret, and then if you're Eclipsing Tides, you're in a great position at 5,000 golds up. Big News is caught!
Yep, Big News gets hit by the hook, but doesn't really get any follow-up there because of just the positioning of how the map was right there. Going to keep Zeri safe, killing the Rift Herald before it can get another charge off into their tier 2 turret there in the mid lane. Dark Winter going to rotate down towards the bot lane here to pick up some gold. And you look at that matchup, sure, it's close in CS, but the Aurelia has 3 kills and is obviously in a much stronger position than the Aurelia. The Aurelian Soul can be this early.
Yeah, the Aurelian Soul does not feel involved in this game at all, right? Just doesn't feel like it's getting involved to play here, and the execution from Eclipsing Tides has been really, really nice here. Apart from that one misstep in the bot lane where they let Easy go a couple times, I do think Easy is still very comfortably in a winning position here. Does have a big bounty, 40 CS lead, and even though the mid lane has been going pretty even on the CS, that is Aurelian Soul, who is struggling to get involved in the game. So we are looking, of course, at some of the dragons coming through. This is going to be a Hextech Soul on the map, which is even better for Eclipsing Tides, who are leading by nearly 5,000 gold.
Yeah, it's a lot this early into the game. Already have the 2 dragons as well, so can just get even higher. Death Sentence does land this time around. Single Red has to flash out, but he just gets hit by Sejuani Ultimate anyway and goes down. Dark Winter trying to get out to safety. Zeri's dead. Swain picking up that kill. Dark Winter is killed as well. That is a double for Easy, who knows how to spend his gold wisely and take advantage of a gold lead while he has it. Now here they can just rotate down to their 3rd dragon of the game.
Yep, that's going to be an easy pickup on the Hextech Dragon. Easy and Batman just taking it all the way down, very quickly getting shredded. And honestly, the bot side is already being pushed in pretty aggressively from the side of Eclipsing Tides, and they're playing this one really well. EX is going to take it. Zon Lilac is, throwing out some options, throwing out a lantern to bring a friend along.
Oh, the ultimate!
Cam has a nasty ultimate.
Yeah, you use the Hextech Gate to get right in the face of an Aurelia ult. Call the Forge God is massive there with the pop-up, killing Zon Lilac, and Cam gets popped up as well by being next to the wall and against an Ornn shutdown, handed over to Singular Bread. That's nice to put the gold into his pocket. Batman is forced to run away on the Sejuani, but can he get away? There are 3 members, 4 technically if you count Yuumi, who's kind of a champion, going to be chasing down Batman, but he gets out safely.
Why are they fighting without Easy? That's my concern, right? It's like, why would they ever fight without Easy there? Because Easy is the damage dealer. Easy is 5, 2, and 3. Has a Kraken Slayer, a Bloodthirster, and the obviously attack speed boots as well. So doesn't feel like fights you want to take. I understand that Cam is feeling a little bit froggy. Was 3-on-3 coming into that fight, but just handed over a massive shutdown as well. So a real tough one to be a viewer of, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and the longer this goes, the Rod of Ages is already stacked up to 6, so when you get that to 10, that's going to help. You'll be able to complete Archangels eventually on the Aurelian Soul as well. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel for the Crab Wranglers, in theory, if they can prolong this game long enough, because sometimes Draven's biggest counter pick is the clock, not necessarily who is on the other team. He just scaled better nowadays than he used to, obviously, with his new gold mechanics that he has, that he got, I believe it was last season. But Zeri, Yuumi, and Aurelian Soul, Ornn in the late game definitely provide a lot of help for the team. Death Sentence lands this time around. Adam is just not able to help there, and he gets killed. You're not going to have Yuumi supporting in this matchup, in this team fight.
Okay.
X is in the area. X gets behind Singular Bread, pops the ultimate. Nevermore pull on to Ornn, has to eat out to safety, but Glacial Prison does land. Can they get him? There's no minion wave to help them push forward. Stubby is really low, but it doesn't look like he can die. Zon Lilac with the hook, flay, flash out, does not matter. Easy gets the kill. Ornn ult doesn't matter either, as another kill headed the way of Easy. He is 8, 2, and 3, 20 minutes into the game, and hey, 20 minutes, I was going to say, right when the Barrett spawned, but no, they're a little too low health to try to go for it.
I mean, don't forget though, they're going to be able to get back on that map quickly with a regular back. They're just going to be able to take those Hextech gates and keep it going.
Oh, they are going to do it. Okay.
Yeah, the 2 healthy members started up, get the teleport going. I mean, yes, easy would be great to have there, but I don't know if you need it as much as some of the others. It's still going to get shredded pretty quickly. Irelia with the Bork is going to help out. The X is going to be able to help out as well. An easy's here just in case there is a collapse from the side of the Crab Wranglers. So yeah, an easy take on Baron for the side of Eclipsing Tides.
Yeah, right away you can push even more with that 20-minute Baron. It's tough. You know, those plays are somewhat risky this early on because if it goes the wrong side, you're essentially giving the other side free gold back in if they were able to get those kills onto you while you were low health at Baron. But because they recalled and then TP'd back in, it was definitely very safe from Eclipsing Tides to go for. They do have the Dragon Soul coming up soon, so they can try to just get another clean sweep like we saw in Game 3. And really the best strategy against the scaling team is to not let them get to the late game for Ornn to give out his ornaments to the rest of the team, for Dark Winter to stack up his items and stack up his power on Aurelion Soul as well. Like, that's how you can sniff out their team power spikes before they can even get there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really tough game for the Ornn, right? It's like the Ornn has really, you know, not been given those fights, really any time in these fights to do what is needed. There's now the Divine Sunderer available as well for Cam. He's been able to solve his problems. On Lilac gets away with it in the bush, does land it onto Stubby, not exactly the preferred target. That is actually a massive knockup from
Yeah, that's
Stubby,
a knockout
though.
with the Call of the Forge God, but he doesn't get to hit the second activation of it. He doesn't get any pop-ups, and now they are running away, but they are not going to let them. Eclipsing Tides will not let them escape. Singular Bread is down really low. Big news, one more hit would take him down. Oh, the W actually does a lot to stop their engage. I thought they would actually get more kills than just Stubby there, but it looks like they only got the one.
Yeah, they don't need more kills, though. What they need is the Crab Wranglers to leave them alone and take their time. So they're going to be able to take complete control of that dragon area, and that is exactly what I think they're focused on right now. They're playing to the bot side of the map. Cam just pushing in waves with the Baron buff makes a lot of sense. Dark Wenser, by the way, still does not have a kill. That was a kind of later game option with a fully stacked rower onto this side. Singular Bread, though, now is the one with the Yuumi on, so they are going to contest this last dragon.
All right, this is one big fight. They need to win this to stay in the game, and he gets killed before the dragon does. Singular Bread just completely destroyed in that matchup in the river. Obviously, Adam goes down as well. The gold handed over to X on his Swain. 2-0-9 in this match so far. Doing a great job. They're going to continue pushing with Baron while they have this minion waves on. Lilac doesn't land the hook, but he can just land the next one. Glacial Prison views into big news. He has to flash out just to not get killed. But X pulls him back right. He said, give me that gold. Batman's the one that finishes off Zeri. Stubby tries to E over. He flashes out. One more hit, and Easy obviously is willing to get that kill. 10 kills for the Draven in this matchup. They're going to take the mid inhibitor as well, and it looks like recall right after that.
Well, they don't need to recall. That's been a really nice push from Cam, just left alone in the bot lane. Not a Baron wave anymore, but still an easy pickup on this tower. This is a whole lot of work. That is a big ult from Dark Wenser, but I don't know if it stops them enough. Zon Lilac is the one taking the brunt of this fight, but that's a support.
Yeah, sure, you got the ultimate out of Thresh, but obviously it didn't result in a kill, so you lost Aurelion Soul's ultimate there in that exchange, and you don't get any gold handed back your way. Now they can just, you know, walk off to safety back towards their side of the rift and recall and spend all that gold they just got, including the Draven, who is now 3 items with his way building up to Lord Doms as well to break through the Trundle and Ornn.
Yeah, it's been a tough game for the Crab Wranglers, and I just don't know if these kind of defensive options that they have in like the Ornn, in the Trundle, are going to be able to make enough of an impact. Atom has really struggled on this. This Yuumi is getting caught alone. No.
It's just inexcusable at that point for Yuumi to be clearing a ward by herself at 25 minutes in. Look at that. Takes the Q, kills Zeri. They're down their bot lane, and they can just continue to push for the next 30 seconds without Zeri and Yuumi. That's just a really silly play to be trying to make by yourself on the Yuumi.
Well, did I tell you about the trip I took? Obviously, you know, we went up to Charlotte Regionals this weekend to cast for another game. But actually, I stopped in on the way back to Silly Goose University, and I did find Atom right fucking there.
Adam's alma mater, proud graduate of Silly Goose University.
Yeah, I mean, based on that play, it's the only thing I can confirm. This is now a only top lane game, is the only turret that's not there. And at some point, they're going to have to go deal with the rest of the map. Singular Bread getting caught again. That is going to be at the side of Dark Wednesday, trying to hold things down. Zonlila's just whipping out death sentences for fun. For a giggle, if you will.
Yeah, you might as well, you know, while you're on the broadcast here. They appreciate being on stream. They want to give the audience a good time, and they know they're confident. It's 21-6 stars. Look at the gold difference as well. Like, they have Cloud Soul for free as well. Like, this is, you know, they couldn't even act more confidently if they tried.
Yeah, this is a bit of a mauling, really, isn't it? It's looking to be a 15,000 gold lead. I think coming into this, you know, Crab Wranglers had a lot of hype around them. I think that's fair to say that they were one of the bigger teams in the league. Eclipsing Tides, obviously, were also up there. But Crab Wranglers, you know, have just made like these strange missteps all night. And now the punishment is here as Eclipsing Tides have capitalized. They are literally waiting for the Baron. That is how far ahead they are.
Well, Baron did spawn just now, so they are going to be able to take that as a team of 5, just bursting that down here 27 minutes into the game, getting their second Baron of the game, and now this could be that final push that brings them towards the finals.
Eclipsing Tides have done the thing I love. It's like you take the Baron, you don't need to back, and you just get on the map again. This is going to be obviously a tough one. The lanes are pushing in a little bit. Mid lane's actually been pushed out quite nicely by the side of the Crab Wranglers, but the bot lane is coming in thick and fast, and that is the best one to have coming in, right? Because that is the one that you have to walk furthest to get to, so you're going to be running into problems in that side. That said, it's finally time for minion wave in the top lane.
Yep, Hook does not land though, and Ornn gets a pop-up with his E into the Trundle there, so some synergy, but not enough as Singular Bread is deleted. They do kill Cam, however, shutdown given to Aurelion Sol, but Easy is just going to destroy this match. Adam is down, Big News is down, it's just Aurelion Sol versus the world, and that will not be enough. He might be bigger than the universe, but it's not. In no universe does he win this matchup. Eclipsing Tides are going to win this set 3-1 and move on to the finals here at Titan Esports in the Divinity League.
Yeah, big plays by Eclipsing Tides. I think they came into this as somewhat of the underdogs, I guess. I think a lot of focus was on the side of the Crab Wranglers, but they shut down what they needed to shut down. A 3-1 win, pretty comprehensive. Gotta give them a lot of credit. I was a little bit of a doubter, but they proved me wrong.
Yeah, no, I think it was a really strong draft. Eclipsing Tides are great at punishing their opponent's draft. Obviously, you have to execute it in game, which they did, and we will, you know, commend them for that. But sometimes games can be won and lost in the draft phase, and when you pick Zeri Yuumi into this position just to get counterpicked hard by Draven Thresh, and it's just, you die 50 seconds into the game as well, you hand over first blood. Like, there some things are way too tough of a hurdle to overcome.
Yeah, I think it was tough, you know, to bounce back from some of the issues. I will say the drafting has been very good from both teams all night, but you know, the draft diff in that last game is absolutely massive from the side of Eclipsing Tides. Also, I mean, I gotta give them credit, right? Like, it's been a combination of like draft differential and then the execution differential. Like, I think that you know, game number 1 tonight, Eclipsing Tides lost the draft, but they executed better. But then the other games, they like won the draft and just executed as they needed. So felt really, really good. Quick rundown of the stats. I don't think there's any shocks here. You know, big wins in the top, in the jungle, in the mid lane, and then a huge win in the bot lane. The AD carry from Easy has been absolutely massive. And then, of course, is on Lilac, putting up some big numbers. I'm really impressed with the Thresh play that we saw in that last game.
Look at the damage output from Draven in this matchup. 28,000 damage. Sejuani didn't even need to do anything. did less damage than Thresh, honestly, because Thresh just landed so many hooks to follow up for Draven to get those kills. He had the damage, add up over time. But and then also, shout outs to Swain as well, doing the second most damage on his team when, we didn't talk too much about him, but he finished 4-0 in, I think it was 11 or 4-0 and something like that. So a great performance from the Swain top as well.
Yeah, big games from Eclipsing Tides and a real statement of intent. I do think the Crab Wranglers may have got caught a little bit by their own hubris, right? They definitely thought that it was going to be an easy one, but Easy had something to say about that, was showing up in every single game.
Yeah, for sure. So we don't want to take up too much more of everybody's time here this evening, since we did get to wrap up the series. But just one last note from Daz and I as we get excited moving on to the finals. We do have to determine a player of the series, and obviously I was not here for games 1 and 2, so my frame of reference is definitely skewed more towards Cam or Easy from the last 2 games. But since you saw the entirety of the 4 games, who would your player of the series be?
I'm giving it to Easy, just because I think the overall play was great. Even in the loss, was like putting up numbers. I loved the Vigar pivot in game number 1, like completely bamboozled the Crab Wranglers by being able to, they picked Vigar, blue 1, and then it's unfortunate, you hate to see it, but the Crab Wranglers actually double banned ADCs. Easy took the Vigar anyway as the ADC, played it beautifully with the Seraphine. And also, I don't know if chat is to be believed, but allegedly it's Easy's birthday, so the smallest gift I can give is going to be player of the series for Eclipsing Tides Easy.
Congratulations to Easy for winning player of the series. Happy birthday as well. Go celebrate with your friends and family, because you are moving on to the finals here in the Divinity League for Titan Esports. That is going to do it for us this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. Along the entire season, Daz and I have been here in the Divinity League. It's been really fun. We do have some travel complications going into the finals next week, so make sure you follow us and see who's going to actually be casting the finals, because if you follow Daz and I on Twitter, you'll see that we're actually having some travel issues. So I personally will be in Indiana as the finals is starting, so I won't be here for the start of it. Maybe I'll come for moral support at the end and support at the end who is casting the finals. I don't know about you, Daz, if you're going to be here next week. What's your schedule? Okay, cool.
I'm actually here next week. Yeah, I have. So for those of you that don't know, for those of you that are joining us, we'll take a little tangent. We don't want to distract from the great games we had tonight, but Joe and I work for another event, and I'm actually playing in a Pokemon event next week. So yeah, I'll probably be done well before it's time to be at home for what is going to be a fantastic finals.
Yeah, understandable. So I will definitely be rooting from the sideline, supporting the 2 teams, Eclipsing Tides and CB Rangers. Only one of them will come out victorious next weekend as the Titan Esports Divinity League Winter Champion. Make sure you follow so you can get notified when we go live next week, next Monday. It's going to be an exciting time for Daz, myself, Lucan, and everyone else here at Titan Esports. Just want to say thank you for watching, and we will see you next week for the championship match.